Good morning everyone, hope you've all had a great week. So sorry for being a little bit late with getting our next video out to you. We've had a very busy couple of days in the shop. So this week we are going to be taking a look at what we call a proper Browning, the Browning B25. So we're going to have a little bit of a chat about the history behind the B25 Brownings. So they were initially produced back in 1926 and were the baby of Mr. J.M. Browning. However, these were produced in Belgium. J.M. Browning went into partnership with a company named Fabrique Nationale who produced the B25 for them. These were a hand-built Browning. Some of the early guns were produced with double triggers and were manufactured in a number of different gradings, down to the engraving on the gun and the quality of wood. They can be a little bit difficult to distinguish between them, but we have got a lovely set of photographs from Browning showing the different gradings. Obviously the grading system did expand over the years, but initially they started with an A to D. I'll pop some of the photos in for you guys to have a look at quickly. Both Dad and I have a real soft spot for the Browning B25, mainly because back in the late 1980s, Dad was in the top 5 dealers for Browning in the country. And I've got a beautiful photo of our old shop, we used to be at the other end of the building, with a wall of Brownings. So I'll pop that in for you guys to have a look at. So as I've already said, the reason behind this video is to try and figure out why the Browning B25 market has gone quiet. So what we're going to do is we're going to head out, we're going to have a shot with them. I'm going to try and figure it out. So we're back at Brandon Woods again and going to shoot the 50 Sporting. So I've been lucky enough to have been lent this very lovely C2G 20-bore 30-inch and this absolutely stunning D5G lightweight game with the 3-piece forend. This is absolutely stunning and I'm really looking forward to having a shot, especially with this one. I previously, before Dad sold it, did have one of these. Pretty much exactly the same setup, 30-inch with the semi-pistol grip. So it'll be like having my old gun back again. Pull. Pull. Are you trying to claim points back? Oh. Pull. Pull. So swapping onto the lovely C2G 20-bore 30-inch. Got some RCs to try today, which obviously are my favourite 20-bore cartridge. So, let's get into it. Pull. Chipped. Chippy. Pull. Pull. Oh. Right, let's have a quick look. Pull. 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 So that was an absolute pleasure to film and shoot. And it really does just go to show that you don't need a big 8-pound 32-inch barreled sporter to go and kill some really, really good targets. So part of making this film, the reason behind it was the B25 market has been in a bit of a decline over the last couple of years. And I wanted to try and figure out why. And if I'm honest, I can't. I mean, who wouldn't want something like this sat in their cabinet? Something that someone has spent 20 or 30 years honing their skills to manufacture. I mean, the engraving on this D2C is absolutely exquisite. The stocking is phenomenal. All the metal to wood fit, that 3-piece forend, everything on here is done to such a high standard. And who wouldn't want something like that? That's what I can't understand. I mean, as I've already said, I appreciate that a lot of these guns were 27.5-inch barrels, which is something that Browning did to be that little bit different. And I quite like that. It's quirky. But, I mean, it just shows that you don't need that. I mean, 1/4 and 3/4 choke, killing, 30, 40-yard clays beautifully. And I mean, this lightweight game weighs 7 pounds, and it handled just so nicely. The balance on it was beautiful. It moved quickly, but it was also controllable. And I think that's really important. You find a lot of these modern guns, they're big, they're heavy, they're weighty, they're barrel heavy, and yes, okay, they move well, but there's no finesse to it. And this is pure finesse, this is. And I mean, obviously, previously we've done the video on the Grade 5 725, which you've got on the wall behind me, which is a beautiful, beautiful gun. But it came off a machine. Somebody has crafted these by hand and has put so much care and passion and attention to detail in them. And to me, it gives me a bit of a buzz. And I we all see in my videos, I waffle like hell when I get a bit excited. And with these, I do. I mean, there's just, you pick one of these up and the balancing point is beautifully between the hands. It's nicely made. And you look at it as well and it just gives you that tingle. And to me, I think that's part of what shooting's about. You've got to get a bit excited about not just what you're shooting at, but what's in your hand. And I think that's what changes it. And that's what changed it for me while filming this is, shooting that C2G 20 bore because I had one. I really got excited about it and shot really, really well with it. And I think I probably tried a bit harder as well because I was excited about it and passionate about it. And I wanted to make something of the video and it all just fell into place. And as much as I love, the 325s, 425s, 525s and 725s, and I think some of the high grade guns are beautiful, they've got nothing on these. And I mean, if you're looking for something special to put into your collection, these are 100% worth considering because it's a high grade premium gun that somebody has crafted by hand, and there's been hundreds of years of, expansion and dedication and engineering gone into these guns. And obviously they're still in production now. And I mean, as I said earlier, they were started being made in 1926. And initially some of the early guns were double triggers. And they're still on the go now, almost 100 years later. That says everything. I mean, if they're still making the same gun 100 years later, they've got to be good. And they are. And, I've really, really enjoyed doing this video, and it's been a real pleasure to shoot such lovely guns. And I mean, we've got, I think, 8 in the shop at the moment, and we've got everything from skeet guns, sporters, obviously we've got 2 lightweight games in, we've got this D2C and the B1 behind me. We've got a really, really nice selection of them in, and they are pretty. I mean, this one here, this B2G Sporter, 1/2 and 1/4 choke, lovely piece of wood, beautifully engraved. I mean, it's on our website at 1,600 quid. I mean, a new one of these now has got to set you back 15 grand at least. Again, this D2C on our shelf at just shy of 6 grand. Something like this with a 3-piece 4 D grade, I mean, it's got to be 20 grand. 1/4 the price. And it's just as good. Probably better. Because, back when these were made in the 60s, 70s and 80s was the absolute prime years for these guns. And the guns that came out the factory in that time were of the absolute best quality. So, you know, going back to the reason why we made this video was to try and figure out why the B25 market had gone. I can't see it. And I am still completely and utterly in love with these guns. They are not only phenomenal bits of artwork, but they are phenomenal bits of engineering. And it's something worth considering adding to your collection. So I will put a link to a couple of these guns in the description below for you guys. And thank you for watching this week, guys. And we will be back to you next week with another video. Thank you very much.